Jacob, thank you. Ford County going up against the plastics industry.
In a recently filed federal class action lawsuit, it contends plastic companies and industry groups have been deceptive about plastics being recycled, and it constitutes a public nuisance. Fact Finder investigator Sean Logging takes a closer look at that lawsuit today, which is one of the first of its kind.
Like Rachel, Ford County filed a lawsuit against petrochemical companies like ExxonMobil, along with trade and industry groups. Earlier this year, California filed a similar lawsuit on a state level, but this is one of the first lawsuits filed by a county. Curated in many homes, plastic bottles, jugs, and containers, and much of it ends up in the trash and destined for landfills.
It's never even reached 10%. The recycling rate today is about 5 to 6% for plastic.
Ford County says as a landfill operator, it has standing to sue over what a lawsuit calls a public nuisance of plastic waste. Ford County has filed a lawsuit against nearly a dozen petrochemical businesses and industry groups. The lawsuit says, quote, recycling plastic is neither technically nor economically viable. Petrochemical companies have engaged in fraudulent marketing and public education campaigns designed to mislead the public about the viability of plastic recycling as a solution to plastic waste.
I think what we're seeing is a response to greater growing public awareness of this issue, not only of plastic waste, but of this industry's deception, the big oil and plastic industry's deception about the fact that plastic is recyclable.
The suit cites a number of reports like one released this year by the Center for Climate Integrity, which investigates the fossil fuel industry. Chelsea Lindsley, a co-author.
The production is growing exponentially on the basis of a lie. And in light of all of this production, with recycling not addressing plastic waste, all of this plastic has to go somewhere.
A statement from ExxonMobil in response to the lawsuit says, in part, this lawsuit does nothing to advance solutions to plastic waste and pollution. Instead of filing lawsuits, we invite governments, big and small, to work with us on solutions that recognize the value of plastics and improve recycling rates, which are much too low. ExxonMobil is transparent and meticulous on our product claims, and we have been direct with our consumers about the plastics and products we sell. The American Chemistry Council, which was also named in the lawsuit, provided me with a statement saying in part that the lawsuit claims are inaccurate, misleading, and out of date. Today, I did reach out to Ford County to comment on filing this lawsuit, but have not heard back.
Sean, thank you.